Hi, Bonnie. How are
Good.
you?
How are you?
Good. Okay, well, let's get started. Let's bow in. I'll try to keep an eye on the screen, see if there's any other people that jump on. Next, actually, Cheryl said she probably be a little bit late. Oh, there's someone there. Okay. There's Senpai is joining us. Okay. Good. We have Senpai. All right. Well, let's bow in. Onegaishimasu. Okay, let's make sure the knees are unlocked. Take a moment to release all the tensions and weight down. Tend to hold in and hold up to one degree or another. So we want to reverse that process. We want to release downward, but keeping the skeletal structure, bone on top of bone, aligned. But the tissues, the muscles and tissues, melt down, release down, just like water down a pane of glass. But the bones, skeletal structure, very upright. It sounds weird, but just let the muscles hang off the bones. And that is basically relaxation without collapsation. And keep that quality as we move. So it's one thing to do it standing, then it's a whole nother challenge to keep that as we go into movement. This cat will probably be hanging around a little bit. I think she's in heat. So there's not much I can do about scooting her away. So imagine and feel your bones. Rely on those bones to stay up and structured, not using our muscles to stay up, using the bones. The muscles can just relax and hang. Consciously release the shoulder joints. Let's do the other hip turn. That's even more work for the leg. You're hanging from that string. That puts a lot of good work in that leg. Developing a strong platform, super strong legs, upper body just goes along for the ride. Shoulders and arms are released and soft. Okay, let's do a few forward and back, maintaining all those good principles so we don't want to pop off that back heel and thus be leaning and exposed. Push off the back heel, ascend hips forward. Push down the front leg, ascend hips back. So it's all in the legs. And we're working on releasing those arms and shoulders. Release the abdomen. It's like pendulums, just dropping right down and through. Let all the weight go to the fingertips. Releasing those shoulders. All in the legs. And other side. With the tailbone pointing towards the ground. Otherwise, everything's kinked and uptight, pointing right down. That makes the body one piece, one unit. If we're up here, like most people are up, segments the body. Upper and lower body are divided. Become one piece like a ball by flattening that lower back. Press the foot in the ground, send you back. Press the foot on the ground, send you forward. Hips are sliding on a plane because the foot's pressing into the ground. Okay, hip turns. And a little wider, knees bent. Heels in, rotate, rotate. A little further apart, rotate. Totally straightforward and all the way back. On the ball of the foot, make sure the leg you're standing on is bent a little bit. You're going to rotate the entire leg. So you can think of the knee as rotating in a circle, and that gets the foot and the ankle, hip and knee rotating and warmed up. Another way. Side. Make sure that standing leg is bent a bit. Explore your range of motion. That gets all the joints from the hip down. Other way. Okay. Shoulders and spine. Other way. And rolling the head on the chest. Make sure the neck is warmed up too. Knees are still unlocked. Locked knees locks the entire body up. And up, a little turn over the shoulder. Mind leads the body. Mind leads, body follows. Maybe just a little bit more, chin up towards the ceiling, stretching the front of the neck, and then all the way down, chin up. Okay, start with an equal awareness, equal stretch, then move. Equal awareness, equal stretch. Shoulders are down and relaxed and open, knees unlocked, lower back is flat. In other words, tailbone is pointing towards the ground. Back corner. Pressing out. Little rotation. Other way. Turn. Hips forward for an arch. Holding. Make sure that you're breathing throughout the stretch. Big arc down. And switch. Big generous arc. And same going forward and down. Okay. So this will give us a chance to go through some or most, if not all, of the new adapted program. Okay, so Bonnie, let's get a start on that. This is all good basic movement for Senpai as well. So, Taino Henko, of course, everybody remembers Taino Henko, but without a partner. So visualize, imagine, and it gives us a chance to really focus on alignment, posture, extension, coordinated movement. So really get to focus deep. Okay, so let's have right side forward, Migi Hanmi, right side forward. So then your partner, if you would imagine, they're coming to grab like so. Coming in to grab the outside of your wrists. So let's go through that basic movement. So the front foot comes offline a little bit, and you turn your hips, and that gets the wrist in front of your center. Then a full Tenkan. Of course, the weight is forward in the right leg. And it's gate on position, which is low position. So belly button height approximately. And elbows forward, rolled forward. Okay, so the big thing to work on with Henko is to keep that in front of your center. In fact, it passes past your center line. So that it's always in front. By the time you finish the position, finish your Tenkan, the hand has stayed directly in front of you, and at no point has it come back here. So this is a big part to watch. Grabbing here, you turn, and this is left out here at the flank. Then you're having to rely on these small muscles to get it back. If that was to happen, you want to move your center, you want to navigate your center, yourself get behind it again, and then you can turn. So you want to avoid that at the very beginning by entering your center offline, and this stays here. So their grab, their attack, their grab is a neutral point. You make it a neutral point, pivot, around which you step and move. So that right side forward again. Imagine they're grabbing you. The right foot, front foot steps offline. And you turn your foot slightly. Just like we do on basic Tenkan, right? Basic Tenkan, before we throw that back leg back, the front foot does a little turn on the ball to set up for a big turn of the leg. Well, this not only helps that, but it turns your hips and your structure and your elbows towards your partner. So your structure, your points, constellation points, knees, tailbone, elbows are all pointing towards your center, towards your partner. So as the right foot comes off, slight turn on the front foot. So now you turn towards your partner. Everything's in front of your center. Then big Tenkan. Nice generous shape here. So maybe a couple more times on that side. So offline, keep it in front, big turn. So when you step offline with the front foot, it turns a little bit towards your partner. And that starts part of your turn, starts the very beginning part. And again, aligns yourself towards your partner. So once more, offline, keep the wrist in front of your abdomen as you turn. Okay, let's do the other side. Hidari. So front foot comes offline, turns slightly towards your partner. That gets your left arm in front of your center, sets you up for a big turn. Hips forward. Offline, the wrist stays in front of your center. In fact, it shoots past your center as you turn. As you turn your hip, it drives the elbow even further. So a hip turn, it's driving that elbow past. So offline, turn. Offline, turn. Okay, try a couple more. Okay, so next on this new program is Minuchi 4 directions. Okay, so Senpai definitely knows this. So 4 direction Minuchi, it's called Shiho Giri. Shiho means 4. Giri is cut. So if I demonstrate that a couple times. Tight Irimi Tenkan to set up right again. Irimi Tenkan, step up, step back, and I'm ready again. So So you guys know this one. So let's review that. Remember to keep the legs bent so your weight is low and you're not coming up, especially when you turn or tenkai. The weight is always sinking down through your center line, like a plumb line, like a bolt on the end of a string. It's always hanging, always falling, always dropping. Okay, and nice straight back. So right side forward. So Manuchi, Tenkai, Manuchi, step to the right, Manuchi, Tenkai to the left. Manuchi, now, step, turn. Irimi Tenkan, we're set up to go again. So it's each, ni, he's bent, san, shi, Irimi Tenkan, each, ni, san, shi, Irimi Tenkan, right into the next rotation. Ni, san, shi, each, ni, san, shi, each, ni, san, shi. Okay, try another one. Okay. Another movement we're going to bring into this new program is Tenkan Undo, 90 degrees and 180 degrees. In the white belt program, we stay in a forward stance and we just step, step. So now we're going to add slide step. So this isn't new for you guys either. We're going to slide step back, slide step forward. So we step and we slide step back. The foot comes in towards a T stance. Slide step forward, it's Irimi. Slide step back. Let's just try that with just the footwork, just a little bit, just to review that. As you do your big entering and sliding, try to stay nice and vertical. So watch out about leaning. The plumb line is working vertically all the time. Okay, so let's just do the footwork a few times. So left leg forward, 90 degrees. So step, step, slide. Weight's on the back leg, left leg. Front foot slides in, step, step back, slide. Weight's in the back leg. So step, step back, slide. Enter, step, slide. Enter, step, slide. So kind of break that down. Enter, slide. Step, step, slide back. Enter, slide. Step, step, slide back. Keeping the knees bent. Covering lots of ground. Okay, now we'll do that basic Manuchi shape that we have recently implemented, white belt program. It can also be a curving Ikkyo-like shape, but we're going to stay with this very, very, very basic application and expression of Manuchi. So if I do a couple to demonstrate. So remember, the push off drives the arms out and up, sliding back brings it down. Okay, let's do a few with the count. So one count is there and back. Lots of slide stepping, covering lots of ground. Each. Ni. San. Try to stay level, not bobbing up and down. Shi. Oh. Rope. Okay, now we'll do 180 degrees. Just like we do originally in the white belt program, we're just now just going to add the same slide stepping. So if I demonstrate, slide step in, Irimi, entering, slide step in, Tenkan, slide step back into a T stance, weight on the back leg. Enter, slide step, Irimi Tenkan, slide step. So let's try that just a couple times, just with the footwork, so we just really focus on that. So slide step in, step, turn, slide step back. Slide step in, step, turn, slide step back. Focusing on the slide step footwork, keeping nice and vertical, keeping the knees bent, staying nice and even, but keeping those legs bent. Okay, then of course, footwork drives the arms, center line. Okay, let's do that with a count. There and back is a count. Each. Knee. On. Chi. Go. Go. Okay. And by the way, let me know if you have any questions at all along the way. Okay. Just jump right in there if you have any questions. Okay, now another footwork. This is all of you have done this as well before. It hasn't been on a program or a cue level specifically for grading, but now it is. You have done it before. We're going to fade back to the back corner. So the back leg steps back to the 45-degree corner, full step back, slide step into a T-stance. That T-stance in the back leg. In Karate, it's a cat stance. If I was to raise that heel, cat stance. It's the same as that, except the foot is flat. So let's work on the footwork there. So, Migi Hani, right leg forward. We start in a forward stance. Back leg slides to the back corner. Front leg, full step back to the back corner. Slide into a back stance. Weights on the right leg. Let's make sure we have that. Forward on the right leg. Back leg steps to the back corner. Front leg makes a full step to the back corner. Slide back to the back leg. Touching down lightly on the front foot. Weights in the back leg. Right leg, make sure it's bent. Nice and straight. Let's do that once more. So, back leg, slide step, full step, slide step. Weights in the right leg, back leg. Arms simply rotate with our center line. So I'm not changing them. It just rotating the hips around the center line does that for me. So if I was to illustrate from the front, back foot to the back corner, full step back, slide back. I'm basically maintaining the same shape. I'm not changing my arms. So back foot, slides back, full step, slide step. Okay, so let's do that with the arms. Right leg forward. So back foot, left foot, slide step, full step, slide back into the back leg. Maintain that for a good 2 seconds. Check your posture, where your weight is, covering center line. So right foot forward, left foot, slide back, right foot, big step, slide back into the right leg. Back foot, slide step, front foot, full step. Now the new front foot, slide back. Each, knee, san. Okay, let's do the other side. Okay, so hidari, just the footwork. So right leg is back, right leg slide step towards the back corner. Left leg, full step back, and slide in the right foot. Left leg forward, weight is forward in the left leg. Back foot slides to the back corner. Front foot, full step to the corner, slide back into the back leg. And that's the left leg right now. Try a couple where you can do some good smooth movement, covering a lot of ground. So that's a slide step, full step, slide step. back foot, slide step, full step, slide step. Now, full hanmi. Okay. So, back foot, slide step, front foot, full step, slide step back. Slide step, full step, slide step. Maintaining control, verticality. Each, knee, san. Front foot is light, available for a kick. Each, knee, san. Each, knee, san. Okay, try a couple. Okay. So the next movement is Ushiro Shiko. So Shiko moving back. So basically that's a matter of turning the hips. Turning the hips. Hands in front, center line. Okay. Work that out. It's all in the swiveling of the hips. And senpai, keep your hands out in front. That's better. Okay, let me illustrate something. So some refinement. And senpai, this is a refinement. Okay. Just like standing, we want to stay nice and even. We don't want to bob up and down. So there's a tendency for sure to bob up and down. So I'm coming up to come down. I'm coming up to come down. Same thing might happen with forward shiko too, coming up to come down. Actually, I want to minimize that. So that takes concentration for sure, and more deep work in the hips. Now, if you have a floor that's kind of hard or has a lot of traction or friction, you might just do a few of these at a time. That would be definitely a reason why there's a tendency to come up, because it's hard to turn on the knee depending on the floor surface. But telling you the truth, people will tend to do that regardless of the floor surface, even if it's a good floor surface for this, smooth and it's not sticky or anything, people will still tend to come up. It's like they're throwing that leg up, moving around that hip. You want to stay as even as you can. That means you're rotating the hip, not doing a curvature this way, rotating this way. So maybe I'll do it towards the camera. So I'm turning the hips, not coming up. See that? You can see that easily, right? Same with going forward. I want to be nice. So I stay low on my hips. So I simply swivel my hips this way, not coming over. So more like this. Swiveling this way. Okay. So try that a few times. And senpai, really work on just this horizontal swivel turn. Not coming up to turn. Not coming up to turn, but just a swivel. Just like Ushiro Tenkan. Exactly the same as Ushiro Tenkan. I don't want to bob up for Ushiro Tenkan. I'll stay nice and even. Okay. So definitely something to practice. Depending on your floor, you might only be able to do a few at a time. Okay, now, Yoko Otoshi Undo. Yoko Otoshi, side break fall. We're differentiating it from the previous program in that we're not going to do it from half seiza. We're going to do the version where we flip the lower body up to both sides. So I'll demonstrate that. To start with, we simply just turn it over, right? So everything's set up properly, head on the chest. Let's just start very basic to learn. I just roll over to the other side, and I have the same shape on the other side. So go ahead and just do that so I can have a look. So you're just simply rotating from side to side. Yes. Senpai, can you angle your camera down a little bit so I can see? So Bonnie, that's exactly right. Okay, good. So now, and you guys know this too, you've been exposed to this, I'm pretty sure. Exactly the same thing. That, what we just did there, was simply to work out the shape at the end of each break fall. Now, head on the chest. Now you throw the lower body in an arc. How high it goes in arc, that depends on your experience level and the practice that you've had. Eventually it gets very, very high, where you literally roll into your upper shoulders to the other side. But to start with, you just throw the legs into a bit of an arc. Then the challenge is to time your slap with the legs hitting the ground. So your hand, your arm hits the same time your legs hit, or just before. Fraction of a second before, or at the same time. Doesn't do any good to slap after your body has landed. So it looks like this. Keep the head on the chest. Okay, Nozo. Go ahead and try a few of those. So yes, Bonnie, that's very, very good. Okay, now, next, ukemi. This is not new for senpai at all, but it's going to be pretty new for most adults. Mai otoshi. Mai is front, otoshi is drop. So this is definitely not new for senpai. And we just do it for kneeling. I'll demonstrate it. I'm going to land on the palms and underneath of the forearm, not the points of the elbow. I turn my head to protect the face and head. And I want to land on the forearms, palms, and the knees. I don't want the belly to touch because that can knock the wind out of you. You turn the head again to protect the nose, teeth, chin. So it looks like this. So you see my abdomen's not close to touching. Now, before we do that, let's just practice that end position. So just slide out and touch down with your palms, forearms, and your abdomen is way off the mats. That's the end position, and you want to turn your head to train your body to know to turn your face away from the ground so you don't crack the nose, don't break the teeth, don't hit the chin. Yes, you're going to turn your head one way or the other. Okay, so let's try a few of those. So if you want to watch me first, feel free. So I turn my head first. And you want to touch down with your palms just before your forearms land. You definitely don't want to land on your elbow points. So slightly just before, it's like you're slapping the ground, and then your forearms take the rest of absorbing that impact and landing. So it's like Minucci, the palms forward instead of hand blade. Try a few of those. Yeah. Now make sure it's with the full flat of the palm, so you don't want to land on the palm heel. So it's the whole flat. So not on the palm heel. The flatness of the palms. Okay. Now, you know what? There's only one more technique, Bonnie, on this next program. At least so far, what I put together. I think that's where I'm going to leave it. So there's only one more technique, and you've been exposed to this before. Not a lot. We haven't done a lot, but you've definitely seen it. Kokyu Ho Undo. It's a 180-degree tenkan. And instead of doing Minucci, I simply round my arm. It's like around my arm. It's like my hand or my fingers push that hip back. I step forward, arm goes forward. I sink into that front hip, and that arm, it's like it pushes that hip back. So if I do a few. So the advancing arm from the back arm goes forward, above the front arm, curling underneath. Okay, so let's try that. So we'll try from this angle here. So let's really break that down. Back foot comes forward, so now that hand is front. Round your arm, and it pushes your left leg back. That's it. Now when you step forward with your left leg, your left hand will go forward, and then bend your left arm, round the left arm, make it a little bit more direct to your center. More direct to your center, and that pushes your hip back. So you step, round the arm, it's like a downward Minucci almost, round the arm, tenkan back. Okay, yeah, go ahead and step forward. And then watch me a couple times from the side perhaps. So I'll break that down. Other hand's always active. I recenter line. Okay, try a few of those. So senpai, keep your hand more in front of your center, just like in Tai no Henko. That's it. Just like in Tai no Henko, we talked about keeping that hand in front of the center, and actually goes past the center. Goes past the center. That's way better, senpai. Good job. That's the idea, Bonnie. That's exactly how to work it. Okay, so let's do some misogi. So that's the entire program for the new program. Hang out, starting from the center, expand out from the center, breathing in, settle back to the center, breathing out. Breathe in, fill everything, whole body breathes in, entire body breathes out. Okay, let's bow out.
Domo arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you very much.